Welcome to the Love Symposium. State your name and where you're calling from, please.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, this is Alexis. Hi, Shamika.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
The woman I had to apologize to last week without even knowing the whole story. Did you get my apology?
I heard your apology, actually.
Yeah, I had talked so bad about you, and I felt so bad when I got the whole story, and I'm glad you called in, and I got to say, man and woman, I apologize for not waiting to hear the whole story and prejudging, and I am so sorry for doing that, and I do apologize from my heart. And I do apologize for that.
So your apology did your apology come from the story that you heard from Mark, or was it something that you heard from someone else?
No, the story, the first story I heard from Mark started telling the story. And when he started telling the story, I let him finish and I prejudged. Then, when I heard the entire story from him, I couldn't do nothing but apologize to you for, in a sense, talking bad about you and making you look like the bad person when it was the other way around. So I apologize to you because he did put it all on him and say it's his fault for what happened and how it went down, and it was my fault for not letting him finish the story and telling me the whole story. Because once I heard the whole story, I was like, she ain't wrong.
Well, that wasn't the whole story, Greg.
Exactly.
That was he told us at that moment.
Wait. Let's let Alexis. How are you, Alexis? First of all,
I'm fine, Shamika.
Okay. Let's let Alexis. Do you want to address last week's topic, or do you want to deal with the topic this week, which encompasses last week's?
Well, we can do both.
Okay.
Because I'll have to say that when I heard last week's show, I was extremely upset. And it was funny to hear how he took something that was not, well, semi the truth and turned it into a complete lie. Now, as far as me and Mark is concerned, we have never, ever been in a relationship. Mm-hmm. Mark did tell the truth when he said that we met each other at work. When we initially met, there was, I did like him, but as I grew to know him, I found out a lot of things about him, and at that point, I had chosen not to no longer push the issue of me seeing him at that point, and I decided that I just wanted us to be friends. From that point on, Mark has continuously, to this very moment, wanted and has believed that we have been in a relationship. And it was by accident that I found out through his friends and his family that he was relaying to them that we were sleeping together, or he tried to imply that we were sleeping together. I don't know if he's ever come directly out and tell them that we were sleeping together, but I know that he's told them that we have been somewhat in some form of intimate relationship, and it has never been that way. Me and Mark has never shared a kiss. The only thing that we have done was we've hugged, but if I've told him I loved him, it was always in the manner of, we were friends, and that was it. I never, ever went out with him like that. Like, I think we've hung out 1 or 2 times before, but that was it. Like that little explanation that he gave you about Mother's Day. You remember, Greg, when you went in about, she just wanted a meal and she just wanted to be treated nicely? That's not me.
Yes, and that's why I apologize to you.
That's not me, but even if, the way Mark presented it, that should not be the first conclusion that any man should come to. And in regards to Mark, I am a very independent woman. I don't know, Shamika, you don't know me like that, but I work. I make my own money, and I've raised 2 kids on my own. Mark taking me out to a meal is not the end-all, be-all. You understand? I don't need Mark to make me feel good whatsoever.
Well, trust me, I did indicate that if you listen to the show carefully. I did say, no, she has her own job. That much I do know. I know certain aspects, and I knew, and I kept repeating, there's 2 sides to every story.
Right.
There's 2 sides to every story. Now, I was taken aback when he said that you had only met his mother once, yet you called to wish her happy Mother's Day.
Right.
That took me back, and I was like, really? Like,
okay.
That gave me reason for pause.
Okay.
But overall, because I know the history between you two, I kept reiterating that there's two sides to every story, because I knew there had to be something else to that.
Well, you know what? To tell you the truth, on Mother's Day weekend, I was going down the list of everybody in my phone book. And I hesitated when I saw Mark's name, and I was like, well, should I or should I not call his mother? Because I know that I knew, and there was a part of me, and that's where I take responsibility, Greg and Shamika, and everybody on the line. I take responsibility for what came out of that, because I think partially I knew that by calling Mark that day, it was going to instigate something. Because what I was trying to do was put to rest what it is that Mark was trying to dream up here and still hold on to. Because he was still holding on to us, and there was never an us. So when I called his mother, when I called the phone and he answered, I immediately said, I just called to speak to your mother to wish her a happy Mother's Day. And he told the truth. He gave the mother the phone. I spoke to the mother briefly. I told her, happy Mother's Day. And then she gave Mark back the phone. When Mark came back on the phone, he started to talk to me and go into conversation. I immediately cut Mark off and said, listen, I have to go. I'm with my kids. I really can't talk. And that was it. Bye. Right?
Okay.
But by doing that, what I did was I reopened, I don't know what it is that I'm really trying to relay. I guess for me, I think that he got hopeful when he saw that I called. And then when I shut him down immediately, he got angry, and I think that's what stirred up what happened on the show that day. I think he was really angry with the way I shut him down, because I didn't say fuck Mark. That wasn't what I was trying to do. What I was trying to do was put the distance and the space between us, because I considered him a friend. And I felt that it was important that I stayed away from him, because he was not understanding that we were no longer in a relationship, ever, no longer in no relationship from the time when I started to see him in the beginning. He was not grasping that whatsoever. Other than from when we met in the beginning of when we were working at the same job, I had no interest whatsoever in being with him. I have told him that. I have showed him that in actions. I mean, any woman who does not kiss or show any signs of intimacy, that alone tells you that she is not interested. And
let me ask a question. Ask a question, because the first time I met you, it was at a bar. You came, and Mark, the way that he interacted with you, I saw that he wanted more.
Right.
Were you able to tell? Were you able to tell it that he was still feeling that way?
Yes.
Or was it okay?
But you remember,
so at what point?
Do you remember what all
signal?
of you said? But do you remember when I got there and I was sitting at the table with Mark, and then you all came around and everybody was taking pictures because they was like, oh, we didn't even know that you truly existed, because we've heard about you for years, but we've never, ever seen you. And that is because I knew how Mark felt about me, and I've always made and chose not to be or go out with him anywhere, because I knew that every time that if I did go somewhere with him, or it would only put more fuel to the fire. But he always made me feel bad and say that, you never come and support when I'm doing something. And I said to him, sure, I'll come and support you as a friend. And that is why I took the one initiative to come out that night. But normally, he's had many of things, and he's invited me to numerous things, and I've always said no, because I've always known that he always looks at me for something more, that I told him that I was unable and will not give him.
And there's been times when, like, I would just leave an event and he would say, oh, you know, you missed Alexis coming. And I'm really upset that he's not on the line this evening. Any other week he is on the show. Holip or Dev, if you could get him on, because, I mean, at this point in time.
I'm on it right now. I'm trying to get his little ass right now.
Okay.
I'm on it right now.
See, the thing is that, and a lot of people don't seem to understand is that, I mean, this topic is actually perfect to describe what I was going through with him. And I have to say that I was really, really hurt. It's been very difficult, you know, dealing with him as a friend. You know, it's not that I do not care about him. I do care. But I have always made it clear where the line is drawn. And, I mean, Shamika has been there when I have told him on numerous occasions, I love you as a friend, but no more than that, you know. Mm-hmm. And it was amazing how all the things that he has done and lied about that we all have caught him in, you know, Shamika, me, and, you know, I took all of that and I threw that behind my back and I said to him, you know, I see that you have a problem. I still care about you, but I just cannot deal with you, not even on a friendship level anymore. And the way he tried to play me and was like, oh, I only met his mother once, like I was fiending to talk to him. What kind of shit is that? Do you know how I met his mother? Let me tell you the story about how I met his moms. I was going through my own little family situation, and I was really upset. And as a friend, I went to him and I told him about it. I was crying and I was upset and I was telling him what I was going through. And after I got off the phone with him, I guess he was upset that I was upset. And I heard that he was crying. He was crying and he was upset that I was upset. And the next thing you know, the next morning I'm getting up to go to work. He calls me, and he's like, I'm outside in front of your house. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, what are you doing in front of my house? He was like, well, I brought my mother so she could talk to you. Just out of the blue. Like the moms and him just popped up on my block, and they were standing in front of my house, and I'm getting ready for work at 7 o'clock in the morning. Who the fuck does that? Well, I came to you and I told you, listen, I'm having a problem, but I didn't ask you to go bring your mother, who I've never, ever met in my entire life or spoke to on the phone, and you have her standing in front of my house at 7 o'clock in the morning in the wintertime. And then I go outside, and I'm like, hi, and she's like, hi, you know, Mark was in the bathroom crying. He was upset that you was upset, and he asked me to come. He dragged me all the way over here so I could talk to you. And I was just like, wow.
Wow. The sad part about it is right now my phone is blowing up with messages from people who are shocked because they've heard the Mark version of the story. Okay? People who did not know, because a lot of people didn't know what went on, which is why I kept saying there's two sides to every story. Okay? No, Mark and Alexis were not in a relationship where they were engaged. These are texts that I'm getting now. He did not blow her off for this other girl. There's a lot to, like, and I don't want to, Mark is a friend, so I don't want to disclose his business. I would rather him be on here and address what's going on, but
Mark is not going to disclose his problems and his issues, his delusional issues. He has, and everybody that's on the line that's listening has to understand and know that Mark is delusional. He has a problem, a serious problem. And this is not me coming on the phone trying to down-talk him the way he did me. This is me coming out and letting everyone know that even you should be you should take heed to the things that he says to you. And ask yourself once or twice, is this nigga really telling the truth? Because everything that comes out of his mouth is a lie the majority of the time.
It's very suspect. I mean, we've had, ever since everything came out with you, every statement that he's made has given me reason to pause. And I've had to go, okay, what part of that is the truth? What part of that is a lie? You know, and the thing is, I think he honestly believes.
He does.
I think he believes. So it's not that I don't think he's intentionally lying. I think he really, in his mind, this is the truth.
Well, I think there's a part of him that knows that he's lying, but I think there's the part that wants to believe. There's a large part of him that wants to believe what he says, and I guess that's where the delusion comes in.
Okay, and we got hands up all over the board, so I'm going to put you on hold.
Okay.
And take some of these people. Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay. Caller with the last 43766. State your name and where you're calling from. 3766.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, this is TJ. I'm calling from New York.
Hi, how are you?
I'm finding you. I'm listening to this, and I understand that this guy lied, and, you know, that's really unfortunate, and I understand this young lady being upset over the lies. But I think you guys have to be a little careful, because if someone can make an elaborate story like this, they obviously have serious issues, and, like, putting him on blast like this, he could potentially hurt himself. I just think that he has a serious problem.
There are some issues there. Whether or not he would hurt himself, I would say that that's very. I wouldn't think that that's a real possibility. If it was, it would have happened in other instances.
Well,
the reason why I'm allowing her to put him on blast like this is because he came on last week and he slandered her. He made up this whole elaborate story, and she has a right to clear her name.
That's true.
You know, she does have a right to clear her name.
That's true, but I'm just saying that obviously this dude has a serious problem. So I would be real careful, like, dealing with him, and just be careful, because for someone to carry a lie like this to this extent, it's like crazy. And then to hear he was crying in the bathroom over her, like, that's crazy.
I mean, he carried this for 6 years. It was a 6-year long.
That's psychotic. He needs help.
Yeah. Well, he's supposedly working on getting that, but I'm not seeing where that's helping. But thank you for calling, PJ. Is this PJ from Chuck and PJ Show?
No.
No. Okay. All
right,
hon.
Thank you.
We lost her?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Sarah's phone.
I was going to say it's called Black Talk.
Okay. Well, whole lip is on. Whole lip?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, everybody's texting. Could you please tell them that you're not talking about me?
No, there is a difference between. We are not talking about Mark Lip.
Yes, they is. Yes, they is. You know they talking about you, Mark. You know they talking about you, Olive.
I'm sorry. We are talking about Max 611, not whole lip.
Wow.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. People calling me up. People texting me saying, "Yo, son, I didn't know you was on it like that." I'm like, "Damn, what you talking about?"
Yo, Mark, stop fronting, son. You know that was you they talking about. You know that was you.
I'm so sorry.
That's hilarious, Holip. That's hilarious.
You got to put that nigga's government name out there now. For real. Yo, tell him it ain't me. Yo, tell him it ain't me.
Yeah, what's up, Alexis? What's up, Alexis? How you doing?
She's not on. I have her off hold right now.
Oh, she got off?
Oh my God! No, she's on hold. She's on hold. Oh my God! I'm so sorry.
Yeah, man. People, you trying to get me in trouble, man.
Greg finds it hilarious.
It is though. He came on the story like, "Yo, tell it ain't me, son. Tell it ain't me."
Oh my goodness.
That's all I really had to say.